The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 58 verses 11, and the Lord shall guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones, and you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. The opening of that verse says, and the Lord shall guide you continually. The Lord shall guide you continually. Why do you need God to guide you? Allow me to begin by saying that man is a creature of purpose. He is a creation of purpose that is beyond his decision. Man is a creation of purpose, is a creature of purpose, a purpose that is beyond his decision. In other words, man was not consulted over the choice of assignment that the Creator made him for. So he has absolutely no authority. He has absolutely no decision on the choice of assignment that God has for him. But you must understand that man is a creation of purpose. You are an answer to a given question on earth. You are a solution to a given problem on earth. But you don't know the problem to which you are a solution. You don't know the answer, the question to which you are an answer. The Bible says in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before you came out of thy mother's womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee as a prophet unto the nations. Before you came forth, before I formed thee, before you came forth. So before you ever existed, your purpose was defined. This purpose is well without your decision. So man is a creation of purpose, a purpose that was preordained before his existence. He had no choice over the kind of assignment, the nature of responsibility that God entrusted into his hands. Man is therefore a creation of predestination. The Bible says in the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 28 to 30, if you read Romans chapter 8, it says, and we know that all things work together for good. To who? To them who love the Lord, to those who are called according to his purpose. Things work together for good, but only to those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. He says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. He said, moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he justified. And whom he justified, he also glorified. He said, all things work together for good. Those he did foreknow, he did predestinate. The effectiveness and value of a man can only be realized while in the pursuit of the purpose or the assignment to which God created him. There is value in use and appropriate use. So unless man is rightly used for the purpose for which he was created, then abuse is inevitable. Your value can only come or be realized when you're in pursuit of that exact purpose for which God created you. The fulfillment of the destiny of man must therefore be guided by the Creator. He is the one who created you. He predestinated you, created you for a specific purpose that only him knows. Therefore, the fulfillment of your destiny can only be guided by the Creator who knows the purpose for which he created you. The Bible says in Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 23, he said, "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walks to direct his steps, because he doesn't know the way he should go." He is the Creator who knows why he created man. So he is the only one who can lead you to effectively accomplish and fulfill the purpose for which he created you. He said, "He who began a good work in you, He began a good work in you. He is faithful to complete it. He is the one who began the good work. He is faithful to complete it. Only the creator of purpose understands the path that one must follow to fulfill the same. Only the creator of purpose. Only the creator of purpose. So success in the execution of man's assignment is dependent upon man's ability to find and follow God's direction. In other words, divine leading is the key to sweatless triumph in life. Your success is dependent upon your ability to find and to follow. Not just to find, but to follow. To find and to follow. So what is divine direction? Divine direction refers to God setting out the agenda and the way to fulfill the agenda. The agenda and the way to fulfill the agenda. Divine direction is the guidance to that agenda of God and definition of the way to the fulfillment of that agenda. Divine direction is the unfolding of the path for the fulfillment of God's agenda on earth. The unfolding of the path is the revelation of the way to the fulfillment of God's agenda. Divine direction is God giving signals to man to follow in living his life on the earth. What is divine direction? Divine direction is God setting out the protocols for life, the guidance of every action of man, the protocols for life, the guidance of every action. Now listen to me. There is no leadership that does not define the way of life. What is the Constitution? It is basically the definition of the life in a nation. The Constitution of the land defines how life should be lived in that land. So every leadership sets out a protocol and defines how things are done. Defiance to the Constitution will put you in confinement as a punishment. There is no democracy in the world. You must walk according to the set out protocol. You must live according to the set out protocol. The Constitution of the land is the protocol for life in Kenya. Of importance is the understanding that God is not the same imaginary creature. He is an ever-present living being, the one who defines the protocol for life. Note, there is no step that God expects you to take in life without his leading. He desires to lead you in every step of the way. He desires to lead you. He has set out the protocol and he wants to take you through the protocol. The Bible says, but the Lord is the true God. He is the living God, an everlasting King. If you know God, then you can identify his voice when he speaks and leads you in the direction that you should go. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 30 verse 21, it says, thine ear shall hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way. This is the way. Walk in it when you turn to the left and when you turn to the right. This is the way. This is the way. Now, many of us are led by convenience. We are following conventional means or ways that are set out by men. Ways that are always appealing to us. Going for what we see others do. This, however, is basically a recipe for destruction. The Bible says in Proverbs 14 verse 12, there is a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It is my prayer that you will allow God to lead you in 2023. There is a way that seems right to a man. You see people do it, so you want to do it. It's about the end of it are ways of destruction. You must allow God to direct your steps into the success in life. He is committed to leading you. He says in Psalms chapter 32 verse 8, he says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. Man is a creation of purpose. The purpose is defined by the Creator. If man must fulfill that purpose, he must allow the Creator to lead him. He must allow the Creator to lead him. He must allow the Creator to lead him. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 58 verses 11, and the Lord shall guide you continually and satisfy